Welcome to GooberCast. Here's the rundown. This is the first episode of a podcast I've started with my best friend of over a decade, Ethan. We both love film and wanted a way to express our opinions besides shouting into the letterboxed void. I'm still experimenting with the format, and neither of us have done a podcast before, but I think our conversation was pretty substantive and funny as flip. If you're just discovering this podcast, stick with it till the end and see how you like it. If you like movies, this podcast is for you. If you like to laugh and have a good time with your friends, this podcast is for you. If you have no friends, are chronically online, and looking to develop your next parasocial relationship, this podcast is also for you. So, buckle up, Buttercup, and get ready to listen to some 20-somethings talk about a children's movie.
They're two best friends who like talking movies. They're really funny and handsome and smart. They're two best friends who like talking movies. They're really kind and have big hearts.
Well, let's start with introductions. My name is Colten. I am a man.
Okay.
Off to a good start.
I'm also a
I
man.
don't know what else to say.
I'm
Okay,
a goober
yeah.
of a man. I'm your co-host, Ethan.
Ethan and I have been best friends since grade 6. We've known each other for longer than we haven't. Isn't that crazy?
Is
I
it?
think.
I was thinking
I
about
think
that,
so.
but I think not because it's close. Hey, maybe this is our half.
It was close. It was close. It's close. Yeah.
It's close enough.
I don't really want to dox our age. I would talk about it a bit more, but anyway. Yeah. We like movies, I suppose.
We love them.
Well, yeah. I got to be more enthusiastic here. I love movies. Movies are my life. No cappage. I'm an aspiring filmmaker, I guess you could say. That's such a cringy thing to say. Anyway.
What a loser.
I love movies. I want to make movies. I love
what a
storytelling. And I make YouTube videos. I've been making YouTube videos for like almost a decade, which is crazy to think. Since like 2016.
And here you are making more.
Yeah.
It's just the way of life now.
With movie reviews, funny enough. But now I mostly make I made 4 videos on a channel called Son of Man TV or Son of Man. And yeah, they're kind of film or TV centric. That's pretty much what I'm up to. I'll hand the mic over. Well, we're not in the same room. I'll let Ethan speak.
Good for
Go
you,
ahead,
Colten.
Ethan.
Well, my co-host. Thank you for that, buddy. Yeah, I have also I make videos and I like it. Bless you. I do. It's like video game stuff though. If you want to look at me or listen to me, professional gamer Ethan is my handle. I don't know if you care. In the description, if you care.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if we're gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just have I have different takes on movies. I have maybe less of a filmmaker's take and more of a you might agree with me
take.
or you might agree with Colten because we have a little bit differ in opinion. Because
this loser
immature.
likes K-pop Demon Hunters.
I love K-pop Demon Hunters animated
That's
stuff.
gonna come full circle a little bit. I'm gonna talk about that.
Animation is superior to live action, is my opinion sometimes. And yeah. Speaking of
nice.
Speaking of animation.
Yeah.
Or live action. What are we doing today?
Okay, so for our first episode, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about How to Train Your Dragon, the OG and the new one, because you're very passionate about it. I'll start by saying that
It's your idea.
I've never really been that big of a fan of the original one. I saw it like once or twice when I was younger, and then I didn't really care for it all that much, and haven't really rewatched it and kind of rediscovered it with the new live action one, and then I rewatched the animated one after this live action one.
Who hurt
After
you?
we chatted about it, and you were you were very vocal about your
You only
not
saw it a couple
disdain,
times. You didn't
because
care
you
for
don't.
it.
Yeah.
You know what kid doesn't care about dragons? You know, get your own pet dragon. That was a dream
I
for
don't know what it
kids. A
was.
dream for me.
I don't know what it is about it. I don't
That's
know.
not realistic. Young Colten thinks.
What's not realistic? Me not liking
No,
that
the
movie?
dragons. You were probably like, that's
Oh,
probably
I
not,
was saying that. Yeah.
because you not
Um.
realistic for you.
No, I don't
No.
think so. I really don't know what it was. I think it's just kind of the tone
You just don't care when you're
of
a
it,
kid.
and
You
I
don't
just don't
realize.
care.
Yeah, no, as a kid, you don't realize, like, you grow up on Disney and you're like, oh yeah, it's the normal movies and even DreamWorks. But now I realize, like, I'm glad I grew up in them. Like, that is not the normal. Those are, like, they're really good and they're not the average movies.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you're like, oh, this is the average, this is all movies.
Well, maybe I think I have a better understanding now that I've seen the new one, because, um, you know, spoiler alert. No, not spoiler. Spoiler alert of my own opinion, which is just a podcast. We're just talking. Okay. Anyway,
We're just goobers
um,
on the
we're
internet.
just goobing around here. I liked the new one, quite a bit, and one of the reasons I liked it so much was because I felt that the tone was a lot more consistent.
As opposed
Yeah,
to the
the old one.
2010.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot more. There's just as many moments that they want you to take it seriously, but there's also this added sort of, at moments, like, slapstick comedy, and it just feels a bit at odds with each other for me.
Are you saying they added, they took the original movie and in the end it was a net ad from the original?
No,
Okay, good.
I'm not saying that. I do prefer the original. I guess I'm just a bit more passionate about my like for the new one, because I'm interested by it, and I think there's a greater conversation to be had here about, like, what makes a good remake, or, why is this good when, like, the Lilo and Stitch movie was, like, absolutely horrendous, which
Was
I'll
it?
talk about a bit more, but
And I haven't seen it
I'm
yet
gonna
because
stop
that's what I
talking for
heard.
a minute and let you
You are?
can share what you love about just both of them. We're gonna kind of talk about them interchangeably.
It's good that
not
you
really
liked
like
it.
we
It's good
talk
that
about
you,
the.
yeah, it's good that you enjoyed that movie. And that is a popular opinion that I've heard, that most people were pleasantly surprised by the 2025 live action. And it's not, it's more that I want to, like, have a contrasting idea, because I feel like it's overrated for what it is, and it's not that it's that bad, but I'm just balancing out what I think it actually deserves. So maybe I'll be a little more hard
Well,
on it
that's kind
because
of what I
it's
feel
gotten
like
more
I'm
love.
doing a little bit too,
Like, you're
because
not
in
giving it.
my circles and, like, from the people I've talked to, I've seen that a lot of people don't like this one.
Oh,
So, I mean, I look on, like, IMDb or Letterboxd or whatever, and, like, the average rating is pretty high, but just, like, in regular conversation, the consensus seems to be that the original is much, much, much better. And I'm not sure I agree with that.
Oh, I see.
I think it has the edge, but I don't know if it's
Well, obviously it
much,
has
much,
the
much
edge.
better
It's the
just
original.
because it came first. Yeah.
Are we calling it the original and the new one, or what's the best way to like distinguish
Yeah, we
the
can.
2010 and the
we can just-
2025?
I won't remember the
The
dates.
OG,
Just yeah, the
OG,
original, the remake.
the remake. Yeah, I like calling it the remake because that's what it is. It's just a remake. They copied, and here it is. And that's the thing. Like with that one, it was different because it was very similar, very similar to the original. And actually, funnily enough, the problem I had with it was that, not that it was similar, or not that it was too similar, but it actually could have been more. They could have gotten more of the stuff from the original. It could have been more similar. Like it's almost like they did it similar enough, but like they should have gone all the way and actually kept some of the scenes that were deleted, or some of the little details that make all the difference for me. I'd love to talk about that stuff because there's a lot of little things that
go
you
ahead.
might think are nitpicks, but I think add like a lot. We haven't gotten into like the story yet of the movie and kind of how that differs.
Everyone knows the story. I mean, how they differ.
You know the story, boy. Trains a dragon.
I mean, I'm gonna say
He's a Viking.
You know, the biggest difference for me that I found was the lack of characterization for his friends. I thought it was very weak in the new one. And I think that partially had to do with kind of the removing of a lot of humor.
Yeah, like they didn't need to be there.
Biggest difference.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wanted them there. I just wanted them to be characterized a bit more like they were in the original. Like after watching the new one, by the end I was like, "Oh, I kind of feel like his friends there were like barely in it or like barely said anything, and none of them had like any chemistry with each other, and they just were kind of there."
Yeah. And yet I think they had more screen time.
Probably, yeah, because the new one is longer,
and yet but not as many scenes and not as many details.
Yeah, the new one, or sorry, the old one, there is a lot of like kind of asides and comments and jokes that they make, which, as I was saying, kind of feels at odds with like the world and like kind of the dark nature of the movie, but
making light of it.
It does do a very good job at characterizing those side characters and really fleshing out the world and the characters specifically. I guess what I'm trying to say is the old one has better characterization. The new one has a better tone and consistent vision of the world, I guess, in essence is what I mean. I did actually think the new one did a good job with the dad.
Okay, I hear you. Here's the thing with the dad, though. And you know what I'm going to say. It's the same guy.
No. Oh, yeah.
It's the same
I liked that
guy. Gerard Butler. And yeah, I did like it because he has the same voice. For the most part. And he even looks like the guy. That's what everybody said. But I'm like, that's the thing that's the same from the original. You know, if that's the best part, then that's the part that is the original.
So kind of take it from the source, you know.
Does it count? Yeah, does it count toward this movie if it's from that one?
Well,
I guess
because it's not entirely the same. There's like a different physicality to it.
Yeah, like he's not like his looks.
Yeah, it's real. It's, you know.
Yeah, it's real. But is real really better? Is real like the peak? It's like they're treating live action as like the peak
as
form.
If it's better.
They're like, it's so good, we got to make it better and make it live action. Like that's the peak of.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, and I don't think that.
It's just a different way of doing it.
I guess it's just
And for this movie,
my
it's not
personal. Yeah, my personal tastes. I guess I kind of prefer. Well, it's not even personal it's just like animated movies are among my favorite movies ever. Obviously, like Monsters Inc. is like my favorite movie.
There you go.
What are you doing?
There you go, buddy. You're getting it. We
Don't
agree.
condescend me like that.
There you go. Monsters Inc.
But I guess for the specific tone of this movie, it just works better for me personally in live action form. The dragons and stuff, I thought, besides Toothless, translated really well into like a real world
like they looked like real dragons.
Yeah, but I didn't really like the design of Toothless in the new one. I thought that it was way too similar to the original, and it felt very cartoony.
Yeah, I mean, they played it safe with that because it's Toothless, iconic
it's such a
look.
loved design.
And you can't really change that. And it should have been, like, probably more consistent, like, either the dragon, Toothless dragon, is kept the same, but then they maybe should have kept the other dragons looking more a little bit the same cartoony, because they do suffer from the Lion King effect a little bit. I think for
like
sure,
the inexpressiveness.
Yeah, they turn they have less personality, the dragons,
and
that's what you lose, and that's inevitable when you convert it, when you do the old conversion process, drag and drop. It's not drag and drop, but copy paste into a different program.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's almost like the only differences they're making in the live action form is removing a lot of the subtleties to make it quote unquote more realistic.
Yeah, and it can get less expressive.
I agree with you. I agree with you that is not a good thing. I guess I just, especially because I don't love the original like with all my heart and soul, I just didn't find it that distracting.
Like me neither. I don't love it with all my heart and soul, and
the original will
have a Toothless plushie or anything, but
yeah.
I
well, maybe you can talk a bit more, because I think you were a bit more observant with like the difference, like the subtle differences, the filmmaking differences.
Yeah,
shot differences.
Yeah, because that's just that. Yeah, we talk about stuff that kind of applies to every like one of those movies. That's pretty general, but yeah, specifically, there's lots of details with that movie, like where you start in the story, just from the beginning. From the beginning, there's differences like the door with the fire, how it like. I don't know, how specific do we get? In the beginning, he like closes the door.
Just give an example.
Yeah, he closes the door, and this is like the first thing, and that's different. And then the fire like goes around the door, and this one he kind of dodges it, and I mean, that's more realistic. I don't know if it's a good example. The biggest difference, like right away, and when I knew in the theater, I saw it in the theater, legitly. When I knew, then I'm like, this is not gonna be it. It's not gonna be what it should be. Is when Astrid came on the screen, and there was no epic fire explosion behind her, and I was like, no, no, where's the fire?
Yeah, it's just a lot more like
smoke.
Muted,
and you're like, almost. What? Where's the expression? Where's like the hair toss? And where's like her walking in slow motion? They did that, but you maybe wouldn't notice it. Hey, did you notice that?
That there was no
remember the flame, the explosion
behind her?
Yeah.
No, I did notice that actually. Yeah.
Okay, even you noticed that.
I did notice that the entire introduction of their characters was a lot more anticlimactic. than it was in the original one.
Yeah, you're like, who are these guys? Do
Um,
we need these guys? Get out of
yeah.
here. But
I did think there was an interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the one guy, then they had to change the humor a little bit because, like, add a little something, change the humor and actually didn't have a problem with that. I like what they did with Snotlout's character, and they actually gave him a new dynamic, and that was the one.
Is that the one with his dad?
Yeah, like with his dad, they added a
Yeah.
dynamic, and I actually really liked that. And he was the best side character for sure. They did Snotlout.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
he was the only one who seemed to have
Props for that. Like, that was good.
actually more characterization than in the original.
Well, I don't know, more, maybe more. I don't know. That was good. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to compare every single thing better. Maybe it was better. Maybe
I think that
I'll say that was better.
Yeah, you can give it that one.
I'll give it that one. If I'm gonna give it one, then Snotlout, and he had his dad thing.
Yeah,
you're gonna say
I kind of want to talk a bit about, like, there was also an aspect in the new one of, like, I feel like they explained a bit more, like, why they're on Burke and where they came from, and, like,
oh yeah,
even if it was just implied, there was a bit more context of, like,
the whole scene.
What's the dad's name? What's the dad's name?
Stoic. The Vast.
Oh, Stoic, yeah. He was like, okay, nerd. He was like in the room and, like, giving a pep talk and, like, oh, we came from here and now we're here, We're diverse. And, like,
yeah,
I don't know. That is interesting. Just a bit more context. I don't know that it's necessary, but that would have been an angle if, like, there was more of that in the new one, of just, like, explaining more context, and
that was just
in everything.
Yeah,
and
that was just so they could have an excuse for why they had a diverse cast.
Yeah, a bunch of Vikings.
Yeah, like, and by
race
itself
under the sun.
Yeah, like, we shouldn't spend a lot of time, but because this is political. But
it's not like it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's
but
great
it's
to
just
have
like, yes, that is
a diverse
that
cast.
is the reason they said that, sure.
Yeah, and so they come with this, the whole thing where to get people in, they're, like, from other tribes, but at the same time, like, they're Vikings, and does it disrespect the actual true, like, history of Vikings? Because that's not what they are. They're a group.
Well, this is a movie with dragons. It's not really going for realism. I don't know that they need to.
But that was the real part. You're like, oh, these are real people, and that's where the legend of dragons comes from. I don't even know if it is, but that's what the movie made me think. Like, oh, this is where dragons originate from, and the stories of dragons, and it was very much
sure.
Yeah, it's very much the original movie is not an homage, but it represents the culture, that culture of the people well. Like with K-pop.
Well,
Demon
you could
Hunters,
say the same thing, though, that in the original one, they're like
representing
Korea. Hiccup has a Canadian, like, Ottawa Valley accent because it's Jay Baruchel, and some characters have, like, Irish or Scottish accents, and some, like, I don't know. I found that distracting.
Yeah, you know what? It's not like it was distracting. But, like, other casting, like Nick Frost as Gobber, he's had such a different demeanor where he's, I don't know, he's more mean. You're like, well, he's mean the whole time. I don't really like him. Whereas Gobber,
actually, yes, I very much noticed that now that I'm thinking about it.
Whereas Gobber's like, he's
his
like,
character in the original was much, 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 much better.
Like, softer.
He actually like showed support to Hiccup, and like,
yeah, you're like, he supports him.
He was great. Yeah,
it's not like making fun of him, but he
was kind of the voice of reason with Stoic too. Like, he was the one to suggest to Stoic, like, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. But in the new one, he just really wasn't helpful.
Yeah, he was not helpful, and he didn't. And he and looks, and it's hard to nail the looks of the like Gobber had, especially Gobber in the animated had especially ridiculous proportions to his body and all
Yeah.
that.
Well, funny enough, one of the things I very vividly remembered from the original when I watched it when I was younger was when he like puts his tooth back in, but his tooth is a rock and he like smacks it with the mug.
Yeah, you don't get any of that in the
I was hoping for
remake.
that in live action form.
Did that scare you as a kid?
Anyway,
You have nightmares?
No, I just thought it
Gobber?
was funny.
Oh, you're laughing at his body
Yeah.
parts falling out?
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes
Uh,
fun of Hiccup in both, or he's like hard on him, but it's just how he does it in different ways. And yeah, so he takes him
Yeah.
back. He's like, "Hey, you gotta do better in that scene." The scene where he's talking to him, he's like, "Stop being
all of this, and then he
stop being
points
all
to
this,
of them.
gotta try harder, whatever." And then he takes him to his
Yeah.
house. In the remake, they don't show him coming out the back of his house. That was a big thing for me. Because in the original, he goes into his house and he's supposed to stay there, but then he just immediately takes off. And you're like, oh, because now you know he's rebellious and he's eager to get out there, and there's no hesitation. And
Yeah.
it's a really big thing for his character. And I remember,
Mhm.
and then the remake, next time you see him, he's like out in the woods, and you're like, oh, here he is. You don't know when he decided to do that. But like, why can't they just go all the way with that? Why can't they just have that actual 2 seconds there? Why couldn't they go
Well, it's like
all the way?
it's like
most of the way.
I mean, I don't know if our 3 listeners have seen the YMS Lion King video. It's like one of the greatest
The
video
part
essays
one,
on
just the part
on
one
YouTube.
of it.
Yeah.
Part 2 isn't coming out.
But like there, if there's one thing to take away from that video, it's that with the Lion King movie, something is lost in translation
Every
in
time.
an attempt to like make it more realistic or whatever, just to
Yeah.
change it, to make it new. Subtleties are lost where there was intention in the original with every shot, every filmmaking choice. The new one, it just Control C, Control V's it into like Google Translate or whatever, and something is lost there. Something is lost in translation. There's like a weird
Big time.
disconnect.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a bit more about that and about I'm going to use Lilo and Stitch as an example, but actually first, before we get into that, we have a sponsor already.
Yeah.
Our first episode, we already have a sponsor.
Give it up
It's
for our
pretty amazing.
sponsor.
So we're gonna have an ad break here, and then we'll be back soon.
Are you tired of the same old bland barbecue? So am I. Howdy, this is Woody from Toy Story 2. I'm here today to tell you about Woody's Brisket Baked Bean Barbecue. Sink your teeth into our delicious meat and legumes. We'll give you something to yippee-yay about.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
There is a snake in my boot. Call 5 to place an order and try out the roadinest toadinest barbecue this side of the Nile. Yo-ho, partner.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Oh, Woody, thanks for that.
That was the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Because I wrote that first, and I couldn't find a Woody AI voice generator, so I had to use a Buzz Lightyear one. And it was so weird too, because like I found this site that did like AI voice generating, and every time I did it, it was kind of different, or like it just sounded weird.
Yeah.
Like with Buzz, I had to do it twice with like 2 different parts of the commercial and like stitch it together because he would just like mumble.
Well, is it
really
Buzz?
Funny.
Is it Buzz, or is it just is it just Tim Allen?
Tim Allen? No, it's Buzz Lightyear specifically.
How is that different from just like it's just his voice?
I don't know.
It's weird, right?
There's
You know what I'm
a
saying?
subtle difference. Yeah. Anyway, my favorite part is when he just says, "There is a snake in my boot." It's like he's trying to convince you that
There is a
Woody.
snake in my
He's like
boot.
saying, yeah, well, the way he says it, it's really funny. He's like, "There is a snake in my boot."
There is a snake in my boot.
I had a whole like number written out where he's like, "Call 555-444-333-222-111." But he was like going crazy when I did. He was like, "Call." It was like insane. So I just put 555, and the way he says it is really funny. He's like, "Call five."
Call it.
Call 5 at 5 to place an order and try out the Roadinest Toadinest barbecue this side of the Nile. Yo-ho, partner.
No, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thank you again to our sponsor for that.
Yeah, we'll have to try out that barbecue. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And that was
I've tried it.
Brisket baked bean.
Yeah, no, I've tried it. I
Oh yeah?
just try to avoid Woody. But the food's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't get the snake. Okay, back
Woody's snake.
What
Woody's
do we
Woody.
Yeah, the snake.
Okay. Anyway,
they cook the
crass.
snake in the boot.
Oh.
They actually cook the snakes in boots, and you get the taste of the boot in the snake.
Like leather and yeah. Okay.
Really good, yeah. But
okay, I'll have to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't. Don't you have to? Didn't you have to try it to get the sponsor? Even.
Well, we're in a different area of the country from each other.
They're all across. They're all across
the way.
North America. Like.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is not even funny. Let's move on.
Like, this is a bit? We're still doing a bit?
This is not, yeah, but this sucks. Okay. Anyway.
Go ahead.
Let me talk about Lilo and Stitch. Okay. I saw the new Lilo and Stitch movie.
Was it good?
And it sucked.
Okay.
No, it was awful.
Why?
I love the original, though. And here's the thing, too, where it's like maybe it's because I love the original so much that I'm more affronted or offended by the new one. But I don't think so. I think I try to separate, them from each other. And anyway, the original Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And the new one...
did it miss the point?
I would say well, okay, there's two major issues I have with it. Number one is like the direct and very odd changes they make from the source material. Things like, spoiler alert, Jumba being the villain and stuff like that. That just make no sense.
Who's
like,
Jumba?
Just very odd, like the Russian guy.
He's the villain?
Who created Stitch. Yeah.
What?
Very strange. Very odd changes made that I just think were very stupid.
That is
to
odd.
Make. And of course everyone, every like angry video game type YouTuber like, "Oh, the new Lilo and Stitch movie is ass," like those people. They're all pointing out how, horrible those changes in the new one is. But here is why I hated the new one even more.
For a real reason.
Well, yeah,
Why
as
that?
like looking at it from more of like a filmmaking perspective.
Yeah, the better perspective, the right
There's
perspective.
a lot of weird... Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of weird, like, cuts and, like, just a lot of strange editing choices, a lot of really bad ADR. Like, to be honest, it probably has the worst ADR of any, like, mainstream
Oh, I hate that when
I've
they're
ever
talking
seen
and just
in the theater.
obvious. Yeah, the lips aren't matching.
And yeah, they're just like off screen and then they say something, but like the sound of what they're saying doesn't match. Anyway, it results in like this Frankenstein's monster of a movie, like just an absolute ugly, stitched together, disgusting mess.
Whoa, okay,
like,
that was a good one, man.
I
Good
think
pun. Stitched together.
I think it's like, oh yeah, oh,
that was a good one. Oh, you didn't even realize
that was not intentional. No. But I think it's like one of the most incompetent movies I've seen in the theater.
Oofda.
And
Well, they got you
this movie,
They got your butt in the seat, and they know it's going to do that.
they did.
So why?
Well, exactly.
get
And
those
like
details?
another thing is like the context of, yeah, this is another, I guess this kind of falls outside of like the first thing I was saying of like, it's a remake, quote unquote, but it is relying on the context of the original to make it a serviceable story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, you can't
like,
you can't talk about the new one without
all the characterization,
directly comparing it. Yeah.
yeah,
so-
and all the characterization, all the hard work is done in the original of, you know, characterizing Stitch and setting things up and like making you love these characters, so that in the new one you're going in with the knowledge of the original and already loving the characters, and it's like they don't have to work as hard. They don't really have to show scenes of, you know, you know what I'm saying. And I think, you know, the new How to Train Your Dragon is guilty of that to a small extent, as I was saying, with like the side characters, but I think largely it works on its own. Like I would have liked this as someone who had never seen the original, I think. I would have been absolutely confused and like miserable watching the new Lilo and Stitch, not seeing the original.
Yeah.
And
I
so
agree- I
there's
agree
like a
with that.
weird thing here of like, yeah, there's a weird thing of like you're comparing it to the original, but you're trying to separate it, and it's like, is it good on its own? Do you really only like, do you dislike it more just because it is a remake of an original movie that you like a lot more? Like, obviously you do, and that's fine. But it does make me wonder about like what makes a good remake. Is there such thing as a good remake? Like, clearly there's been movies that are remakes that do a better job than the original.
That can happen. Yeah.
You know, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for me-
everything is subjective, but
Yeah. For me, I like it. Makes me like the original one more, and it's not
Sure.
it's not because it complements it though. It's because it kind of contrasts to it, and then I'm like, oh, that's how much better the good old days when movies were good, or when this movie was good before the remake. And so with whatever you're saying, man. Sorry, what were you saying? Bruh. Oh yeah, they got it. They got to make
yeah.
they got to do an experiment like of that, of what you're saying. Like have a bunch of people who've like directly compare people who've seen the original and watching the remake, and then compare that with people who've never heard of this thing before. And that's maybe it's hard to get. And then watch that and see how those differ. Like that'd be an interesting experiment to see the results of how
and
they would change.
if we're, you know, if we're moving a bit outside of animation, there are other examples. I just watched one very recently, Funny Games, which I actually haven't seen the original, but I watched the new one, which was made by the same filmmaker, much like How to Train Your Dragon, with Dean DeBois. Is that how you pronounce his name?
I don't know.
And yeah, made by the same filmmaker as the original, about a decade apart. Both live action. The original was in German or Austrian, or like it's an Austrian movie, and the new one is English. And I haven't seen the original, and I'm not really gonna get into like what I thought of the movie, but I will say that it's pretty mixed as to which one is better. It's not a unanimous like, oh, the original is better. And I find that very interesting. Like, he took the original and he kind of builds off that, and he improves on things that I think he viewed as not as good, and made. And funny enough, he made a lot of those subtle differences that you were talking about that are missing in the new one of How to Train Your Dragon. He almost added in the new one of Funny Games, in the remake. He added a lot of like little moments that kind of make it flow better. And so it's like, is that what makes a remake better? I mean, I guess
part of movie
it
magic.
depends on.
movie magic.
Sure, and I guess it depends on how close it's even following, like something like The Thing, is a remake. The one from the 80s is a remake of the 50s one. And I haven't actually seen the 50s one, but I would imagine it's quite a bit different in tone and in everything else, and it's like, but The Thing is, the 80s one is often considered among like the best remakes ever made, and it's like, well, what is the definition of a remake? Like, that's kind of a dumb question, I guess.
Yeah,
but
like, is Pinocchio a remake?
It's kind of not, because it's like
Pinocchio isn't originally a movie. It's a story, and it's not a. They're not
There's
remaking
a million
a
different
movie,
Pinocchio movies,
except for the Pinocchio,
mm-hmm.
the new Robert Zemeckis.
Guillermo del Toro one, the
new Disney one. That's like a remake.
Yeah, that's a direct remake of like the 40s Disney
because it's theirs.
But
it has to be of a movie.
I don't know.
How to Train Your Dragon
think,
is a movie.
Like, I don't have the answer to that. I just think it's an interesting question, I guess, of like what makes a remake better or worse. Like, it doesn't seem clear. And it is interesting how this new How to Train Your Dragon does seem to be well liked for the most part. Like, general audiences seem to love it.
Seems to be consensus is that it's good for a remake, and it's good. It's just good. Like, it's all right.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I think people were just kind of anticipating revisiting the film, and they got to do so in a slightly different format. Where
relive it.
There was kind of, I think this is something I didn't really talk about. I think the new one did a pretty good job with scale. Like scope and scale. Like the original, at the end of the movie, when like the big dragon, there's like the battle. Yeah. I think the new one did a good job of like showing exactly how massive this dragon is, because you're comparing it to real people. Like, even if it's just like a some sort of psychology in your mind.
They just copied it. Just copied.
Well, sure, but I think your mind, or my mind anyway, had an easier time of understanding the size of this dragon at the end.
Yeah,
when there's like a real person beside it,
Yeah, like, it's real. It feels real. But in that way, it's harder to.
I don't want to keep saying real, because I feel bad. I do feel bad, and I didn't. I don't know. I don't want to keep saying real, because I agree with Brad Bird. Like, animation is not a genre. It's not a different type of thing, and it's not any less real. Like, I think, in terms of stories and whatever, like, Ratatouille is a more real movie than 99.9% of other movies that
and ironically
ever come out. Like,
ironically, it can have the opposite effect. You make it like real live action. It's harder to suspend your disbelief, and because they're real, the dragons are fake, then it seems less real than if it was an animated movie. Because then you have this guy fighting a dragon, and you're like, how ridiculous.
And they don't exist in the same world. One is in the real world, one is in the computer world. But
and then
they come together. The original, they're both in the computer world.
Yeah, they're both birthed out of the same place. It's from the same.
Mm-hmm.
You're all working with the same stuff. There's no.
They both have the same motherboard.
Same motherboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then what ended up happening was all the details, and I'm gonna throw in another detail. The whole scene.
Go ahead.
The whole scene where Hiccup first meets Toothless was one of the bigger ones. That was, a little thing, like, it felt like rushed and less expressive. Well, the whole movie was less expressive. You really get an appreciation of how better voice actors are at the voice part compared to when you're acting, the voice won't be as good when it's a dedicated voice actor. So there's always a little bit of that. But yeah, just like he didn't even faint at the end. You could have him like faint how he did in the original.
Yeah, but that's yeah.
You know?
No, I know what you mean,
Why do they just have
but
that
it's
little
like
thing? Gonna fall over.
because I think it adds to like just a general kind of silliness that the original had, which love it or hate it, it exists, you know. And I don't think that's what the new one is doing. Like,
well, they can make it serious.
There's so many jokes in the original that I noticed that weren't in the new one. Like,
they're going for more darker.
There's only like 3 or 4 jokes that I think made it into the new one, you know, like when he's like, you just pointed at all of me like that, and like a couple other bits, but like just generally, like even visual gags and whatever. And I do kind of agree that it does make it less charming.
Makes it less
and
charming.
I will say that I'm less inclined to like rewatch the new one than, you know, I am to rewatch the old one. I'm sure I will watch the old one.
Oh yeah, I had to go
again
back
and again. I'm sure.
I had to go back and be
I'm
like,
sure if I ever have children or whatever, I will.
Yeah, what one are you gonna
watch the
show?
old one with them?
What one are you gonna show your kids? What movie are you gonna show your kids?
I think the old one, and I think.
I mean, probably both, but
I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, but like, it is more entertaining, I'm sure. To
yeah,
a
it's
child.
more entertaining. That's on the
would be.
bottom line.
It's
right?
a quicker pace. It's and it's like, I don't know. I had an interesting conversation with a guy a little while ago
Not
where
me.
he was saying how no, not you. You're not my only friend.
Not interesting.
Anyway. Where he was saying, like, he was a dad, and he was saying that he showed his kid The Lion King, and he was a lot more interested in the live action one. I don't want to use live action. It's just CG animation, but quote unquote live action one.
Yeah, it's not.
He was a lot more interested in that one, and I thought that was very fascinating. That a child preferred, like, maybe he's the outlier, I don't know, but I wonder about that. I wonder, you know, like there is like objective things that are good about filmmaking for sure, and I think, you know, watch the YMS like Lion King video, and
what do you mean filmmaking?
that just scratches the surface of like things in the original Lion King that are objectively better, as objective as filmmaking can get.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, you know, how much a child will enjoy it, I think that is very subjective, but also it's like what moves along at a faster pace, what keeps your attention more. And I think in this case, it is still definitely the original.
Well, yeah. But does anybody think that? Nobody thought that. Or nobody doesn't think that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nobody thinks the new one is
Nobody's like, it's better. But with this one, it was just similar, and it just so obviously existing just because that's what people watch and for money and all that. Like, but just so pointless if it's the exact same and shot for shot. A lot of people say shot for shot. I'm okay. It's kind of not shot for shot. That's very specific, and it's not that. And I think it should have been more. But they didn't need to have it all if it's just in a different. It's the exact same thing, like that. And still, I think it should have been more similar. It would have been better.
Yeah. Well, that's also an interesting.
I kind of contradict myself.
Sorry,
but yeah, that's.
No, I know what you mean though. It's like either have it different enough that it's like it can be viewed as its own thing, or have it so similar that you're also copying the things that are good about the original.
Yeah, and I'd want it more similar, but then you're also like, if you want it more similar, what's the point of having it if it's the exact same?
Yeah, sure.
Because now it's the same, and now it's
in
a different.
Now
medium.
it's like, what purpose does it even serve as just being well, literally nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't serve a purpose. Just to make more money, really, just to re-release it in theaters.
That's the purpose. Everybody
Yeah.
knows this.
Yeah. I mean, one more. I'll give one more example of like a movie that is kind of an enigma a little bit. Is the Gus Van Sant Psycho? Do you know about this?
No, why you bring up all these other movies?
Well, because it's an interesting comparison.
How does it compare? I haven't heard of this.
Okay. Well, you know Psycho. You've seen the original Psycho.
Psycho, yeah.
And Gus Van Sant, the filmmaker, in like 99 or 90, I think it was 90. He remade Psycho shot for shot. And I feel like a lot of people don't really know about this or haven't seen it, but I mean, I'm sure people like in film circles have for sure, but
Only
like
the film
just
dorks.
your average person.
Yeah.
Your average person has seen Psycho, but has no idea about this like Psycho remake. Vince Vaughn plays Norman Bates, which is very
Really
odd choice, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's very weird.
It's hard to see.
But it's like an exact shot for shot remake. There are some differences, like there are some lines here and there that I think make it worse, but it is an interesting, like, you know, example to look at of like, because people don't like the Gus Van Sant Psycho. I need to preface, like, people hate it. It's like a 4 out of 10 on IMDb, you know. And the original is a classic and everyone loves it, and like it's consistently on lists of like best movies ever made. So is
true.
it kind of just a case of like, it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Like, is that, you know, is it that simple?
Saying. That is a good saying, my friend. And that's kind of how things go, but not with entertainment. Now when there's agenda to be had, then they're gonna fix it. The Americans aren't gonna use the metric system because, you know, what are they gonna gain from that? I mean, okay, they'll get in the long run. They'll gain, but
what are you talking about?
Well, the imperial system of measurements, like, it works. It's not the best system. Like, metrics obviously better, but you know they're gonna stick with it. But it's different with film.
What does this have to do with anything?
Because that's if it ain't broke. That's if it ain't broke.
I see what you mean.
Don't fix it. And
yeah,
that's okay. You know, I get that. But then, so it's different film because agenda. And yeah, what was your favorite part of the both movies?
Oh,
What's your favorite little like scene, little detail thing? I'll tell you my.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead. I'll think.
Oh, I don't have a favorite part, but I have.
You don't have what?
I have worst parts of the new one. There's there was the big scene they took out where he's like discovering the dragons on the beach after they do their flying, and then Toothless shoots the fireball and they go into the fireball, which they didn't do in the original. In that scene, they end up on the beach. You know what I'm talking about, right? And the reason they didn't put
yes,
the reason they didn't keep that scene on the beach with the little dragons, because they said they're like, well, you know, he was already discovering that the dragons are not like them, and it's the same scene. And I'm like, well, what are you saying, that one shouldn't even been in the original? Then why was that there?
I actually completely forgot about that scene, and I remember
like they
having
had a reason.
That exact reaction, like pausing it and like saying to
how did that reason not apply to the original? Like, are you saying that was something that shouldn't have been in there?
Yeah.
And then there was the
weird thing to not have, and it does feel generally that like the new one has less too.
Has less
which is like just it has less scenes, it has less dialogue. It has
There's
pretty
even
much
the
less
scene,
everything.
Yeah, and there's this scene where
and
he's
yet
like,
it's longer.
Yeah, and yet it's longer. I guess the pacing with animation is faster. But they had the scene in the
Yeah.
night. Remember the night scene where he's like hiding Toothless from Astrid, and then they end up flying away and getting away
Yeah.
in the dark. That's why didn't they have that? I didn't hear about that.
Toothless never even
I
goes to
forgot
the
about
village
that one.
until like he saves Hiccup from
I
from the fire guy.
From the fire guy. They're just like sneaking around.
Yeah, what is that dragon called? The fire
The
dragon?
Monstrous Nightmare? The fire,
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that breathes fire dragon. Gee, I don't know.
Shut up.
The one that turns itself on fire, yeah.
Yeah.
He saves him from it. What? That's a different scene, man.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that's the first part where Toothless goes to the village in the new one.
In that movie, yeah.
But in
original,
the old one,
he's been there.
he goes to the village. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's another thing. He was like actually had been there and was maybe more familiar with it from the ground, so it also makes sense from that perspective. It would have been easy to animate. Like, it's easy to do CGI in the dark.
Well, but again,
so it's not like it would have been
part
a CGI.
is a bit silly.
Well, yeah,
that part is a bit silly because he's in the building and he's like hiding, and then doesn't Astrid like see him for a split second?
She didn't see the dragon. She sees him like being weird and like
I thought
he gets picked up a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's like, again, it's just like a bit silly, which I don't think is a bad thing. Like, I think it adds to the charm of the old one, but yeah, they just wanted to take all the charm and charisma and joy out of the new one. So
they really wanted.
And how dare you question their intention with that?
Yeah, they did try to make it darker. I feel like they maybe even didn't realize, like, didn't they realize they did that just because it's live action? It feels like it's darker because than like animation.
I think it was an intentional choice.
Me a little bit.
I think there would have been more stuff. Like, I think it
Obviously,
actually demonstrates a bit
be.
more. It demonstrates a bit more of an understanding of the source material. Like, it's not just a sort of like Control-C, Control-V situation. Like, it demonstrates that they do understand they're making something a bit different, so they are making differences, you know? They are making changes.
Another example of overall, like, just more tame is the whole ride with Astrid. And I hate Astrid, too.
Yeah.
Or she's a different character. You never like her. Remember she does, like, the back
Yeah, they don't
handspring?
really characterize
she
her
does,
as
like,
much.
the gymnastics in the thing. You remember that? Ridiculous.
In the original?
No. To be fair, she does
no,
say the same line. She does talk about it. About doing it in the original, which I didn't actually hear until I watched the new one and then went back. But like in front of the dragon, she does it like that, like back handspring, like for no reason.
Oh, I don't remember
the
that.
Stupidest part in the remake. Yeah, they have her do this gymnastic move, and you're like, what? What was that? And that was the goofiest thing. And then she is like, and then they take her on a ride, and she's like, magically now, she's like, oh, I love the dragon now. But she was
yeah.
They're trying to get her scared and stuff, or if Hiccup wasn't, it was just Toothless doing that. But what they missed the point with Astrid and Toothless's relationship was they didn't have one in the original. And they kind of tried to make it one in the remake. But I don't think that, like, they added that and they changed that. I don't think that's better. Like, it sounds better, like they have a relationship, but it was always more about her relationship with Hiccup and Hiccup's relationship with the dragon Toothless. And he's the only one in the original, I'm pretty sure, that actually calls Toothless by his name because of his pet. And the remake, they have Astrid like be apologize to Toothless for calling like as if he does understand English. The dragon does understand English. But like they like make it
Yeah.
a point in the new one where she's like, I'm not getting on that dragon. And then Toothless is mad at her. And then she's like, I'm sorry, Toothless, and then it's a nice ride. In the new one. You know what I'm saying? You get that?
Yeah.
But then misses the point of it was actually it was actually with him and Hiccup, and she was
Sure.
Toothless was mad at her for not liking Hiccup. He wasn't like, it's not like the
Sure.
Toothless
yeah.
is petty and he just doesn't like her for himself.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit like
yeah.
it was one line and it changed that whole aspect of how that dynamic relationship works.
Yeah, well, that's why those little things are
Well,
why
that's
I
a
love
thing.
talking about film and talking about differences and
Yeah, it makes a
yeah.
big difference.
I think
Dominoes.
we're what?
Butterfly effect, you know, and then because that thing, and then
Oh yeah.
as it develops,
Yeah,
it changes.
exactly. Yeah. Well, and as someone who writes, it's like you may want an endpoint, and you kind of write the result or the payoff, and you may have a setup, but if that setup doesn't work, which is very common, you usually have to go back further and kind of change the
Reevaluate.
inciting incident or and it's like it's a lot of pressure is put on those moments, and for good reason. Like it really pulls a story together
Yeah.
of like when you have those like satisfying setups and payoffs. And
Well, I had to be like
yeah,
reconsider if maybe that actually wasn't how it was in the original. Maybe that was the intention.
sure,
But I'm like, I don't think so.
yeah.
And then it's more but then why would you close it? Why would you not have it more open for an interpretation than that better?
Yeah.
In that
yeah.
just
there is one part that I actually was surprised. I didn't realize I liked how it was done so much until I saw the new one and how they did it, and I was like, oh, I prefer how it was in the remake.
And what was that?
That was when what's the like fat round dragon, the blunderbuss? What's he called?
The Gronkle.
Oh yeah.
Gronkles are tough.
The part where they were starting dragon training, and the Grunkle was gonna kill him.
He's gonna die.
And
yeah.
And what's his name like grabbed him, and he like
Gobber.
shot the fireball right by Hiccup's head.
Yeah, and you're like, he would have died.
I liked that part more in the remake. I thought they did a better job of like even shot choices and like intensity, and like because in the new one they just kind of shot it very flatly, or like the shots were very flat and kind of like wide, and I liked.
I could see that.
I liked the way. Yeah,
I don't remember that specifically, but actually, I think that probably was better.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we could talk all day about like the small scene to scene differences.
All the doodah day.
Yeah, but I think we had a pretty good conversation. I don't want to like just keep talking in circles. So
great conversation.
Yeah, what would you give me like out of 10 or out of 5 if you want to use like the letterbox system?
Yeah,
for each one.
Yeah, I have my rating in there. I'm going to stick with it. It's a 5, which is equally nice to not nice, because it was good enough, but
5 out of 10 for the new one.
5 out of 10 for the new one. Yeah, 2.5 stars is what I felt, which is just like middle of the road. But I hated stuff, but I also liked it's still the good story of it. But I hated the little stuff, and so overall it was just right in the middle.
Nice.
That's what I think.
What about the original?
And the original is just fantastical. It's a movie about dragons and like the relationship of man and beast.
Really?
And yeah, and how that forms, and like you're from different worlds. You got like a Romeo and Juliet kind of situation, and
Yeah.
and it looks good even today. Yeah. So the sorry, I said so it's that's 4.5 out of 5. That's what I gave that. That's what I gave that bad boy. 9 out of 10, which is
Nice.
exceptionally high for me, but that is
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what I think it deserves.
Well, you
How
know
much
what,
I enjoyed
Ethan?
it.
I think you'll be pleased to know that you convinced me to drop my rating a little bit. The original was before and after this rewatch a 7 out of 10, a 3.5 star, and I added a heart on Letterboxd if that means anything.
Oh.
And the new one was also a 7 out of 10 for me, 3.5 star with no heart. But after this conversation, you convinced me to put it down to a 6 out of 10, 3 star. So.
Oh, so what is that for you? Like that's middle of the road ish for you?
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me is pretty much your 5 out of 10, honestly.
Oh, well, that's great. I mean, I don't want to make you enjoy
I feel
it
like I have a
less.
small. No, but I think you made a good case of like. I mean, that's not the point of our
reassessing what you thought.
conversations and
Yeah.
these episodes is like to convince the other person.
We're not
and it's
fighting,
not like
yeah,
we
no.
always have different opinions.
I wasn't
Yeah,
planning
but
that.
I think you did. I think maybe I'm a bit too lenient on it, honestly. With like looking at the original and being like, oh, it didn't do it as well as the original, but I don't know. I'm trying to not get caught up in like the context of the original adding to the to my enjoyment of the new one, and I think it does ever so slightly. And so looking
Yeah.
at it as its own thing, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, and there's the fact that the remakes are like it's still one of the best remakes that we've had.
Yeah,
in a while, and so it's hard not to
definitely.
be like, oh, it's so good, but what are we comparing it to?
Yeah.
Is the other stuff that good? Maybe you like it, and that's fine.
No.
Go ahead and like it.
Yeah.
Like The Lion King. I don't care.
Well, maybe not that one.
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
But you put pineapple on your pizza. Okay, well, I actually do like that. But we don't judge. We're just a couple of goobers anyway.
Anyway. Yeah, okay.
What do we know?
Let's talk a minute about well, let's talk about next episode, okay?
Next time
I have an idea.
on the GooberCast, we'll be looking at Colten's idea. What do you got?
Yeah. Okay. So Ethan is a man-child who likes K-pop Demon Hunters, as we talked about at the beginning.
Yes.
He's seen it 3 times. This is kind of maybe the inverse of the How to Train Your Dragon situation here, where
they are making a live
really
action.
Loved.
They're making a live action of that one.
Are they? Are they?
Yep, they will.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I was on K-pop Demon Hunters. You liked it a lot. In fact, I think it's still in your top 4 on Letterboxd, which is crazy.
What can I say?
But anyway, we can talk about that next episode, I'm thinking. But
joy.
Not just that. Because I'm probably gonna rewatch it, and you're gonna make me rewatch it, and I don't really want to.
You don't have
I'm
to.
gonna suggest a movie. No. Here, this is my plan. I'm gonna suggest a movie, and I think we should talk about both of them. It's a movie that I haven't seen. I've heard a lot of good things about. Animated movie called Mars Express. Have you heard of it?
Mars Express? No, I don't know why you always say these movies. I haven't heard of them. I feel uneducated. Mars Express.
It's a French
I've seen Mars
movie.
Attacks. Oh, look at this! It's an anime looking thing.
Yeah.
Sci-fi thriller.
It's I've heard a lot of good things.
Whoa, 100%.
I've heard a lot of comparisons.
Did you pick a movie that I'm gonna?
Well,
love?
I've been meaning to watch it.
Oh heck yeah, I'm
that's
watching
the thing.
this.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of comparisons to Blade Runner, to Total Recall. So yeah,
It's not
I'm
even that
excited
long.
to watch it, and we'll do those two. We'll do those two next episode. So we'll talk those two.
Oh, okay, I'll have to watch this, my friend. How have I not heard of this? Good one. That
all
for
right.
sure next time. Hey?
Yeah.
But until then.
A slogan.
Until
yeah.
then.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wait. Yeah. What?
No, do you have an outro or like a slogan?
I don't know. You suggest something.
Well,
you do.
This has been GooberCast. Someone had to say it. What do you think?
What does that mean?
You know,
Someone had to say GooberCast, or someone had to say
someone
our
had
opinion?
to say these opinions, like
I see.
The
I
hot
see,
takes, all the hot takes on this movie, these two movies.
How about stay goobered up?
Say gay goobered up?
What? I said stay goobered up.
Stay goobered. That's the outro though.
Everyone, it's goobin time. I don't know what's going on.
Stay goobed.
Okay. Well,
and
that's
have
a
fun.
work in progress. Yeah, stay goobed. Watch a lot of movies because they numb the pain. Okay.
Don't take goobs.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Are you gonna hang up on me?
No.
Are you saying
that's
bye
just
to
the end
me?
of the podcast. Anyway, okay, that's a wrap.
We're off. Now we're off the thing. Yeah. That is a wrap. That is a good.